There are no accidents in the universe, man. Everything that you see in your own life, the room that you're in right now, all of it, there are things in it that are there for a purpose. So then what makes you think that Allah has chose you to see this video for no reason, by accident? It just shows there's probably a deep meaning that you'll take away from this exact video that you're watching, that maybe, just maybe, it's the exact message that Allah wanted to give you in this exact moment. The first thing I want you to realize, there is an ayah in the Quran that says that, and when I have proportioned him and breathed into him of my created soul, then fall down to him in prostration. The creator of the universe, the skies, the earth, the ocean, the sun, the moon, has breathed from his spirit into you and me. You do realize this implies that in the depth of your soul, you are made by love itself. You are made by majesty itself. You're made by abundance itself. And not just that. It says right here, and when your Lord said to the angels, indeed I will make upon the earth a successive authority. You are the Khalifa of the earth. I'm telling you, there's no accident that you're watching this exact video right now. Allah has chosen you over all creation on the earth to become the successive authority. And this is a big title. And this is so beautiful, man. So you were created by Allah for Allah. So you weren't meant to be pleasing others all the time. You weren't meant to try to fit into culture and society, whatever people's opinions are, you just try to fit into their opinions. You weren't meant for that. The beautiful thing is that Allah made you so that first you know yourself, and then you know Allah, and to love Allah, and then to place all your attention throughout the entire day and every single moment only on Allah. You were made to like swim in the ocean of Allah, man. You were made to see, discover what are those diamonds that you have within your soul that Allah has given you. And thing is, understand, habibi, like Allah doesn't even need your praise. Allah doesn't need your prayers, your thanks. But you worshiping Allah, you keeping Allah in your mind throughout the entire day, this helps you unveil who you truly are and what you are meant to be. Think of it like this bud right here, which is basically a plant. When this bud is facing the sun, it starts like opening up, and then you'll start smelling like a nice fragrance from this plant right here, but it only happens when it looks at the sun and it shines to the sun. You are the same thing. When you keep Allah in mind the whole time, you're gonna start to open up and you'll have a nice fragrance to you, because this is it. The worship of Allah removes the veils that you have been creating all along so that you truly become who you were meant to be. Because your value is not based on the things around you. Your value is not based on the things your parents said or the things that other people have told you. Your value is based on the one whose breath gave you life. So you're not the body that's gonna die one day. Habibi, you are the soul that has no beginning and no end. Why? Because it came directly from Allah. Your soul was there before even the body was here. So even you see me looking so beautiful and stuff, I was way more beautiful than this, bro. And even you too, like you're way more beautiful than even you think you are. Way bigger than even you think you are. Look at this beautiful quote by Rumi. He says that you think of yourself as a citizen of the universe. You think you belong to this world of dust and matter. But out of this dust, you have created a personal image and you forgot about the essence of your true origin. So your true origin is from infinity. Your true origin is from this divine love that you've forgotten because you're living through this world. But here's the thing, man. Understand that Allah is independent from creation, which means that when you go through sin, Allah doesn't start loving you less and less. Instead, it's the sins that create a veil from receiving the infinite love of Allah. Like, understand, one of Allah's names is Al-Wadud, the most loving, which means that this love, whether you're here or not there, whether you do this or not do this love will always be here. But then why is it that sometimes you start to feel like, why does Allah not love me? It's because the sins that you've accumulated, the sins that you've been doing, they make a veil. They create a veil to the point that you can't see the love of Allah anymore. So it's been you all along. Allah's love, it never changes. It's only your experience of His love that changes. And the beautiful thing is that this religion of Islam has been given to you so you can polish the self, so you can remove the veil that you've created between Allah. And the crazy thing is that when you start to realize this, you'll stop looking for validation from other people, especially like your parents or your friends or even all of society, because now you know you're literally chosen by the Most High. You are the Khalifa on the earth. And now some of you guys might start thinking it's like, well, if Allah's love is independent from creation, and then Like Allah is always going to be loving me. So then why do I have to go and do good deeds if Allah's love is always going to be there? Why do I even have to go and worship Allah if Allah's love is always going to be there? Look at this picture right here. You see this boat? Just like how a boat, it opens up the sail so that it gets carried by the wind. You are doing the same thing. So you need to open up yourself through Islam so you can move with the flow of Allah. And this is why you're supposed to be doing good deeds. This is why you're supposed to be praying and doing all of the things that require you to be a Muslim. There is a quote here by Kabir that says that I laugh when I hear that the fish in the water is thirsty. I laugh when I hear that people go on pilgrimage to find God. Even Hajj, bro, you're not meant to go to Hajj so you can find Allah. That's not the whole point. Allah is always here because the path of Islam, what it's supposed to be doing to you is that it helps you remove all the limiting beliefs that you have created, and these beliefs are standing between you and Allah. And then once you remove all these, like these walls, these limiting beliefs, these veils that you've made, then you start receiving the love of Allah that's always been here. And the funny part is that your goal shouldn't even be to like worship Allah and serve Allah because there's a heaven that's going to be waiting, because like you're scared that I don't want to go to hell, so I have to go and worship Allah and have to be a good boy so that I can receive Jannah. That's not the whole goal, bro. Your goal should be that you become a reflection of this exact heaven on earth. Because here's the thing, once you actually go through Islam, once you go through surrender, you would literally become a vessel of Allah's loving qualities. And this is what a Khalifa is. The more you start worshipping Allah, and the more you keep your attention only on Allah, these veils, they start to dissolve. And then when these veils dissolve, you will become a vessel, and then you'll start moving through the world carrying this abundant love of Allah. So then at this point, when you talk to people, they'll notice they're just like, this person is different. Like, I feel like I've known them for a long time. But it's not that they know you for a long time. It's because they've been made by the same creator. And this creator created everything. And so there's something deep within us that as soon as we're connected back with this creator, we're just like, yeah, like we know this, we've seen this before, and this is the effect that you'll have on people. So Habibi, Allah literally chose you to see this whole video so you can learn about your divine purpose on earth. Because trust me, bro, Allah is not hiding in a Kaaba or a mosque or a church. Allah's names, Allah's qualities are reflected everywhere. There's a beautiful ayah that says that to Allah belongs the east and the west. Wherever you face, you'll always see the face of Allah. So Allah literally created you as a reflection of His divine qualities of beauty, abundance, majesty, love, and that's so beautiful. So then the purpose of this beautiful religion that you've been given is to basically be like water. And by the way, this is a metaphor. Don't be saying it's like, oh, but the scholars never said to be like water. This is a metaphor, Habibi. So to be like water, gentle enough to clean the whole world, but also strong enough to drown falsehood. This is what it means that when you surrender to the will of Allah, when you surrender to this creator of the universe, this is how you basically change the world. Because once you go through it, once you go through the surrender, it changes you. So understand, man, it's like everything that you go through, everywhere you go to the school, you go to class, you go to your job, you go in the car, you go in the taxi, you cross the road, any of these things, all of these things are there for a purpose. And the entire purpose is for you to go back to Allah. Everything that's coming your path, it's coming from Allah. And the reason why it's there, it's so that you go back to Allah. Like, understand, Allah is closer to you than your jugular vein. So Allah is so close to you, bro. Like, you can't even imagine how close it is. And oftentimes, everything is a paradox. As I always say, right? The things that are closest to you, you think is the least valuable, and you give them the least attention. So if you ever forget who you truly are, just understand the true you is a reflection of Allah's love. And especially when you open up the Quran, and then you start reading it, understand that everything in the Quran, it's written there for you. It's not just written there so that like it's being sent down to Muhammad ﷺ and that's it. It's a book for all of humanity. So then when you see this ayah right here that says, Allah says, fear not, indeed I am with you both, I hear and I see. قَالَ لَا تَخَافَ إِنَّنِي مَعَكُمَا أَسْمَعُ وَأَرَى. When you hear that, it's not just towards Musa, it's also towards you, bro. And then when you hear this beautiful ayah right here, and I produced you for myself, like Allah has been molding you all these years for Allah. So this is not just towards Musa, it's also towards you. Everything that you read in the Quran, man, all of it has just been there for you. Like you guys, again, man, you see this scary ayah that says right here, and the messenger said, Ya Rabbi, inna qawmi takhadhu hadha al-Qur'ana mahjura. Indeed, my people have taken this Quran abandoned. And like, it's so crazy because when you read this ayah, Allah is saying that Muhammad ﷺ is saying that They took this Quran, so it's almost like the Quran is right here, it's in front of you, but you've taken it as something you've abandoned it basically, which means that even if you're reading it, it doesn't mean that you haven't abandoned it, because all of us nowadays, bro, we're reading the Quran and then we're just thinking it's talking to people in the past. We're thinking that it's not talking to us directly. But understand, every single letter it's there to talk to you directly. Like Allah sent down this beautiful book as a messenger still. So we literally still have like a messenger, like a constant messenger, which is the Quran itself. So go back to the true teachings of Islam. And then once you go back to the true teachings of Islam, you remove the veil that you've created between you and Allah. And this is how you'll basically be living every single moment in ihsan, as if like you can literally see Allah. And if you still can't see him, you know that for a fact Allah can still see you. You guys are still stuck in level 1. No one is graduating from level 1. Because when you graduate from level 1, you live every moment like you're with Allah. And that's the beautiful thing. So I'm telling you again, there are no accidents in this whole universe, man. You seeing this video, it's there for a purpose. So I'm hoping at least I've accomplished this purpose.